Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gajjantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajas Sunantu Sagga Mokkadang Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badhanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badhanta Dhammasavana Kalo Ayang Badhanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Evang me sutang ekang samayang bhagava ukkadhayang viharati subhagavane salaraja mule tatrako bhagava bhikkhu amantesi bhikkhavoti badhante tite bhikkhu bhagavato paccasosum bhagava etadavocha Sabba Dhamma Mulapariyayang vo bhikkhave te sissami tang sunatha sadhukang manasikarotha vasissami evang bhanteti kote bhikkhu bhagavato paccasosum bhagava etadavocha sadhu sadhu sadhu. Dear listeners, subject to the discourse today, Mulapariyaya Sutta, the root sequence of all phenomena. That is the first sutta in Majjhima Nikaya, middle discourses. I have heard that on one occasion, the fortunate one was staying at Ukkatta in the shade of a royal sal tree in the very blessed grove. There he addressed the monks as monks. The monks replied, "Yes, Lord." The blessed one said, "Monks, I'll teach you the root sequence of all phenomena. Listen and pay close attention. I'll speak to you." Then they responded, "As you say, Lord." Then Lord Buddha had explained, "Idha bhikkhave asutava putakjano aryanang adassavi arya dhammasa akovito arya dhamme avinito sappurisanang adassavi sappurisa dhammasa akovito sappurisa dhamme avinito pataving patavito sanjanati pataving patavito sanyatva pataving manyati patavya manyati patavito manyati pataving meti manyati pataving abhinandati tankisa hetu aparinyata tassati vada. That is the first para of this sutta. According to my view, this Mulapariyaya Sutta is the alphabet of the Buddhism. It explains more than 20 ways how our mind can be deluded. So, first of all things, we should know this sutta and need to comprehend what are the places, what are the ways our mind becomes deluded. As the first, Lord Buddha is explaining, there is the case, monks, where an uninstructed ordinary person who has no regard for noble ones is not well versed or disciplined in their Dhamma, who has no regard for the men of integrity, is not well versed or disciplined in their Dhamma, Pataving Patavito Sanjanati, Pataving Patavito Sanyatva, Pataving Manyati. He perceives solidity as solidity. He perceiving solidity as solidity, he conceives a thing about solidity. I'll explain later. Then Pataviya Manyati. He conceives a thing in solidity. He conceives things coming out of from solidity. He conceives solidity as mind, and he delights in solidity. Why is that? Because he has not comprehended it, I tell you. That is the meaning. This is if you search about this sutta's name in Wikipedia, it will show you this is the one of most difficult sutta in the Sutta Pitaka. And this have so many controversial ideas in Buddhist scholars. And please listen very carefully and try to understand. Now we are talking about two words called perceiving and conceiving. In the Pali word for the conceive is manyati. Manyati. Manyati means we conceiving as a thing. The normal people who are uninstructed, ordinary, who will not go to the noble people, and who is not listen their Dhamma, who is not disciplined their Dhamma. This type of normal people perceive earth as the solidity as solidity. I'll tell you an example. If you is something on your table or in your chair, as an example, we can get a flower vase in front of you. So you can it is normal. It we can perceive as a solidity. A normal person perceives this vase, perceives vase as vase. Perceiving vase as vase, he conceives a thing about a vase. Perceiving is just perceiving, but conceiving is different. Conceiving, he's thinking there is a real, an independent thing is existing there. If you, when the contact of eye, visual, the vase, and the attention, there is just a cognition. From this cognition, you just have a perceiving. You have a perceive. That's a vase. That's only that perceive also just a cognition. But as the work of this cognition, diluted mind shows you an duality, an independent duality, if this cognition exists or not. But actual vase, an independent vase is existing there, an independent I is existing here. But this duality creates by that cognition. If there's no cognition in that time, there is no any conceiving about the I and visual, I and vase. In that time, your cognition in your ear, you just have a conceiving the sound and the ear, the person who's listening. But when your cognition arises in according to the vase, you are conceiving there's the vase and the I in this very moment. That's what he explaining. perceives the solidity as solidity, not only was. You can take as a person, you can take as a taste or sound. Not those are in the after that have those things. Normally the solid things, the umbrella, the chair, table, wall, your hair, your hand, fingers, you can perceive those. But perceiving a hand as hand, he conceives a thing about hand. He conceives thing about chairs. He conceives thing about tables, and he conceives things about world. But there is just existing a cognition. This duality creates in his own mind. I'll tell you a nice stanza in Sutta Nipata. It is in the Khuddaka Nikaya. The sutta called Tissametteya Sutta. The stanza is Yo ubhante viditvana majhe mantana lippati tam brumi mahapurisoti soda sibbani machaga. That means if someone understands the duality and detach to the middle, I'll tell him as a noble person, he will beyond the tailor. Now we have questions. What is the duality? What is the middle? And who is the tailor? So this, the answer for this question is supplied in a sutta called Majjhe Sutta. It explains a nice answer to that stanza. Majjhe Sutta explains 5 types of answers for this. In that case, Lord Buddha explains I told for this one, but those things also correct like that way. The monks they are suggesting though we can explain like this like that way. But for now, I only explain according to this time. So that is one type of answer is what is the duality? One side is internal, another side is external. That means eye and visual, ear and sound, nose and smell, tongue and taste, body and tangibles, and the thought and mind and thought. Those are the duality. The middle is the cognition. At the tailor is the craving. Our mind always swing the duality by showing a duality to us. The craving, the tailor of craving, he swing eye to visual by ignoring the cognition. The tailor of craving swing the ear and sound by ignoring the cognition. The tailor of craving swing the thought and mind by ignoring the cognition. He always ignore this is just a cognition. Because of craving, we have a force to enslave this. We have a force to run with our ideas. So that's why Lord Buddha is explaining. He conceives the solidity as solidity. The perceives solidity as solidity. He conceives a thing about a solidity. If someone conceives about a solidity, he conceives in solidity, coming out of solidity. This solidity is mine. He delights in solidity. Then Lord Buddha asks the question, why is that? Then he answered, I tell you, because he has not comprehended it yet. Tankisa hetu, why is that? Aparinyatang tasati vada. I will tell you, because he has not comprehended it. If you perceive as a thing, the avas as a thing, then you can make thoughts from the vase, in the vase, and this vase is mine, and you delight in this vase. So many ways. All things, but the root sequence is conceiving things as things by ignore the cognition. After that, in the same way, Lord Buddha is explaining, this uninstructed ordinary person, he perceives the liquidity as liquidity. Perceiving liquidity as liquidity, he conceives a thing about liquidity. He conceives in liquidity, he conceives coming out of liquidity, he conceives liquidity as mine, he delights in liquidity. Why is that? I tell you, because he has not comprehended it. When you show a milk, when you look at a milk, it is just a cognition for you. And if you drink it, this is just a cognition in the tongue or the body. Please be more mindful and try to insight while listening this. In that way, the past people attain the supreme goals in the Lord Buddha's time by listening very carefully and insight in this very moment, not later. So, if you look at a milk, it is just a cognition. But the ignorant mind shows you a duality. Oh, there is a milk, here is I am. That is just a thought, what arises after that cognition. So he perceives milk as milk. He perceives milk as milk. He conceives about the milk. There is an independent milk conceiving after that. And in milk, milk have sugar. You can conceive in milk, and coming out of milk, oh, this is very tasty. Coming out of milk, and this milk is mine, and he delights in milk. All things arising by that root thing, because of conceiving. The root, that's what the sutta's name is, the root sequence of all phenomena. After this, I think this is the only sermon. What after the sermon, so many bhikkhus, so many monks didn't impressed, didn't happy about this sermon, because at least they also can't. Most of them also couldn't understand this properly. So in the sutta says in the finally, so many monks didn't happy about this sermon, because that much this is very listen carefully. This is very hard. Then listen very carefully. After that, he again explaining, then why is that he has not comprehended it. Again, the Lord Buddha is explaining, Tejang tejato sanjanati, Tejang tejato sanyatva, Tejang manyati. And that means the uninstructed ordinary person perceives temperature as temperature. Perceiving temperature as temperature, he conceives a thing about in temperature. A thing in temperature, conceives in temperature, conceives coming out from temperature. And this temperature is mine, this warm is mine, and he delights in temperature, that temperature. If you If you if you touch a hot drink, or if you touch a cold drink, or if you touch in your body, if you touch in another's body, another one's body, if you touch a dog, you can feel a temperature. If you, as an example, if you touch a small puppy, you perceive temperature as temperature, but perceiving temperature as temperature, warm as warm, well, you conceive a thing about a warm. Oh, this is this way. Oh, very sweet, like that way. And in temperature, uh, this temperature, in temperature, from temperature, from this temperature, I feel very satisfied. Like that way, you can feel from temperature, and this temperature is mine. This temperature is my dog's temperature, and you delight about this temperature, delight in temperature. Wow. Why is that? I'll tell you. He has not comprehended it. And the next part is Vayang vayato sanjanati vayang vayato sanyatva vayang manyate. He perceives a wind as wind, or the air as air. He perceiving air as air, he conceives a thing about air. A thing about air. He conceives air in air, coming out of air. He conceives air as mind. He delights in air. Why is that? I tell you, because he has not comprehended it. Air means, as an example, if you take something like your breathe in, breathe out, or someone's breathe in, breathe out, or some air comes from an air condition or the wind. You can feel this. Just you have a cognition, or cognition in body, or cognition in eye, or cognition in the mind. But the ignorant mind, the uninstructed ordinary person, always conceiving, he perceives the air as air. Perceiving air as air, he conceives about a thing about air. There's a air, there's an independent air is existing. And in air, from air, and he delights, and he thinking, oh, this breathing is mine. This air condition, the air is mine. And he delights about air. All these things arise by the conceiving, the root sequence. After that, he conceives, he perceiving beings as beings. Beings mean the all beings in the four hells, main four hells, and the human's world. We call them as beings. He conceives that the paragraph is Bhutam Bhutato Sanjanati Bhutang Manyati. Bhutam Bhutato Sanyata Bhutam Manyati. That means beings. He perceives beings as beings. He conceives about a being. And he conceives in being. He conceives coming out of being. He conceives being as mind. He delights in being. Why is that? I tell you, because he has not comprehended it. Being mean, if you look at for some person, it is just a cognition in an eye, or a cognition in ear, in a cognition in the body as a tangible, or a cognition of your mind. And if you look at your body also you experience by as a visual, or as a tangible, or as a thought, nothing else. So he perceives being as being, perceiving being as being, he conceives a, a, a thing as being. Oh, if you look at some person, to your mother or father, you just have a cognition of the eye or the body or the mind. But you're conceiving if I got this cognition or not. Actually, there's an independent being is there, like that way. It may be correct or not. That is not the problem. The problem is, according to your experience, it is just a cognition. It is just a data. It is just a cognition what arises in your mind. Because of that conceivings, all all sufferings arise from. That's why Lord Buddha has explained these all conceivings are preparated, sankatang, preparated, abhisanchetitang, preparated by thoughts. Kaya dhammang, it's under the nature of wasting. Vaya dhammang, it is under the nature of decay. Viraga dhammang, it is under the nature of detachment. Vaya dhammang, viraga dhammang, nirodha dhammang, it is under the nature of cessation. Because why? These all things prepared in our mind. In the last sermon, I have explained this is if you look at a robot who has an artificial intelligence, he can think. He experiences the world by cameras, microphones, and sensors. But he can think. He can conceive. There's an actual world is existing. But it is true or not? That is not. It will not make any sense. Because according to him, according to his experience, it is just data what arises in his mind, what is arises in his programming. In that's why Lord Buddha rejected all 4 end questions. As example, is world existing? Question is wrong. Isn't world existing? Question is wrong. Either world existing or no existing? Question is wrong. Neither world existing or no existing? That question was also wrong. Because why? If we think about the world, if we conceive about a world, it is just a cognition what arises in our mind. Because if we think the world is existing or not, that also just a cognition in the mind. Because the world exists and the self-existing by according to your experiences. For now, you make the world and yourself according to my sound. Oh, here is the sound in the world, and here is the person who listens to the sound. And again, your attention goes to the wall. Then you can think the wall is existing in the world, and the person who see this wall in here, like that way. Dear ones, in the according to sutta explanations about nama, namings, mental, mental preparations, Lord Buddha is explaining 5 things as names, as namings, primary ways of namings. Those are sensations, perceptions, volitional activities, contact, and attention. If you listen to my sound, there is just a sound, and in your sight, there is a sensation, a normal, natural sensation. Neither pleasant nor unpleasant sensation is there, and perceiving about perception about the Bhante's sound, and the volitional activity about like here our Bhante is speaking, then we are listening, and you understand this. And there's a contact mean the stage of conceiving an independent sound, an independent I am or ear, and the soul and the self who's listening. Those three parts we call contact, because the definition of contact, the definition of passa is tinnang sangati passo. Tinnang mean three things. Sangati, gati mean going. Sang mean a prefix used for um, together. The together going of three things we call passa, contact. What are the namings according to sutta explanations? Those are just 5 namings. Those are Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Passo, Mansikaro, Ayang Uchit Bhikkhave Nama. Those are the bhikkhus, the namings, the sensations, perceptions, volitional activities, contact and attention. Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Passo, Mansikaro. Then you have a sensation. Some people can think we have to take this contact to the first part as the first, but Lord Buddha put this in the fourth step. Because why? According to suttas, we are not searching for a theory or a knowledge. In suttas, always focused on according to our understanding. So that's why he put the sensations as the first thing, because our mind, our conceiving about self, wake up with the sensations. When I talk to you, first of all, you feel a sensation. Your idea of self, your idea of mind, wake up by sensations. Sensation or perception, then volitional activities, then contact, then you mix the three parts. Bhante is existing, I am existing, and the person who is listening, and the self who is listening. Then you have the attention on this. Those are arise with the same time, but if we put an order, if we give an order, this is the most correct order, because that's the Lord Buddha's order. So I will tell you a little comparison. In a criminal who talk about some in a court, in a high court, if it's a big criminal, and there have so many wrong people, so many people who are arrested. If there are no any witness to this criminal, the judge have one option to give the freedom for one criminal, one person, and ask all about this criminal crime from him. Give freedom for one person and ask about all things from him about this crime. But after the taking all things, all informations, that the person who talking also become a criminal, become a bad person, become a bad person. So in that way, Lord Buddha also did same like this. He give the freedom to the attention, to the manasikara. In this all time, our attention always focus to the external things. When you're listening a sound, attention always focus to sound. This is going. This is work, and the sound is there is an independent sound is there, and the visuals always attention focused onto that. But he has given the freedom to the attention and ask attention to give me all the informations. Then what he has done is he convert attention to the originating place from external things. Now attention is showing again and again those are originating in this very moment as a cognition, but after that, because of an ignorance, it shows it's conceiving an external world, a duality called external world and me. So I think you has comprehended it. You have comprehended it. However, now we talk about how is the practice, how is about how we conceive about beings. Then Lord Buddha has explained how we conceive about gods. This ordinary uninstructed person perceives gods as gods. Perceiving gods as gods, he conceives about a thing about gods. There is really existing gods. And in gods they are very peaceful, like that you can think. And from gods they bless us. We can get blessings, you can think like that. And you can think, oh, these gods are mine. And you can delight about these gods. Why is that? Because I tell you, he has not comprehended it. In this manner, he explaining Pajapatis. Pajapatis mean the highest gods, and the Brahmas. Brahmas mean in the first jhana level Brahmas, and the Abhasara Brahmas called luminous gods. In that means the second jhana Brahmas. After that, he explained in this way the gods of refulgent glory as gods of refulgent glory. That means the third jhana Brahmas called Subhakina. Because if those topics are not much talkative in these times, but in that time, so many Indian sages talk about those Brahma worlds and their intent to go there. So that's why he explains those old things. And the gods of abundant fruit, that means the Vehappala, the fourth jhana Brahmas, and the conqueror as conqueror. Conqueror mean people has an idea in that time, a creator of a world, that creator, the conceiving creator, from creator in creator, and he delights about creator, and he's thinking this creator is mine. All people with the all God religions, and those also just a cognition in their mind. Because of getting this cognition from a deluded mind, they are conceiving from God, in God, delighting and thinking the God as mine. And he's thinking he conceiving dimension of the infinitude of space as the dimension of the infinitude of space. That means akasanyayatana, the first arupa jhana, the first non-material jhana. In that also, when he attend to this, that ordinary person who has jhana, he also going to ordinary person who is not incited. If he is not incited, in some Indian saints or sages, they also in that part. He attained to the first arupa jhana, the dimension of the infinitude space, but they are conceiving a thing as infinitude of space, a thing as akasanyayatana. then in Akasanyayatana, from Akasanyayatana, and he thinking, oh, this attainment, this infinity of space, this concentration of infinity of space is mine, and he delights about that. Then what is that? Why is that? Because he has not comprehended it. And again, he explains the dimension of infinitude of consciousness. That also people conceiving like that. And the dimension of nothingness. That means Vijnananchayatana. Then dimension of nothingness means Akincha Sanyayatana. In that also they are conceiving like that. Then the dimension of neither perception nor non-perception. It also they are conceiving like that. The person who doing. So that's why the all. If you read the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, after each and every meditation session, Lord Buddha is explaining a paragraph after you, as an example, after the explanation of the Anapanasati, and after the explanation of Iriyapatapabba, after the explanation of different body parts, or after all of that, he's explaining Attikayoti vapanasa satipachupatthita hoti yavadeva jnanamattaya patisatimattaya anisitocha viharati nacha kinchi loke upadhyate. That is very very usually we can hear that part if someone read the Satipatthana Sutta. That is explaining we have to conceive this body as a body just for increase my mindfulness and wisdom and be detached to the world. Only for that. And this conceiving just only for that. Unless this body means just a cognition of I or body or a mind. So again and again, please pay your close attention and try to understand. Then after that, he's explaining Ditta Sutta Mutta Vinyata. That means this ordinary person, Asutva Putajjano, Dittang Dittato Sanjanati, Dittang Dittato Sanyatva, Dittang Manyate. He perceives the seen as seen. He perceiving seen as seen, he conceives a thing about seen. A thing about a scene. And in scene, coming out of seeing, and this seeing is mine, and he delights in seeing. Because why is that? I tell you, he has not comprehended it. Now you can hear my sound. It also, you feel just a cognition. If you look at your wall, it is just a cognition. But perceiving the wall as wall, you conceives a thing about a wall. There's existing a real world is there, and I am here. After you conceiving like that, you can conceive it in wall, from the wall. This wall is mine, and you can delight about this wall. Why is that? You has not comprehended it. After that, you conceive heard as heard. Now you can hear my sound. That is just a cognition. If you focus your attention very closely, your mindfulness very closely. But the perceiving heard as heard, he conceives a thing about heard. There is an independent Bhakti sound. If I got the cognition or not, there is existing a sound. You think like that. But it is correct or not, but it is also just a thought what arises in your mind. So heard as heard, the sensed as sensed. Sensed mean it's under of the smells, tastes, and body tangibles, and you sensed as sensed. You sense something mutta, something you feel it's just a perceiving. just a cognition, but you thinking, oh, there's a independent smell, independent taste, independent tangible, but it is just a cognition. Now after that, he cognized, he perceives cognized as cognized, he perceiving cognized as cognized, he conceives about a cognized, and he conceives incognized, and he conceives coming out of cognized, and he um, think this conceives cognized as mind, and he delights in cognized. Why is that? He has not comprehended it yet. It also a part of conceiving. And another way our mind conceives singleness as singleness. If you look at something in a single manner, or like a one vase, one cup, then one cup of tea, one bottle, one chair, and as a single thing, you conceiving, oh, this is a single thing. It as a one by one also mind can conceive. And multiplicity as multiplicity also can conceive. Oh, there's too many chairs, so many pens, so many pencils. You can conceive a bundle of pens. Now in that way also can conceive. So many people, multiple people, multiplicity as multiplicity. In that case also you conceive in people, from out, come out from people, delights about people, think people as mind, and the multiplicity as mind. Why is that? He has not comprehended it. Finally, he perceives the all as all. Perceiving all as all, he conceives about a thing in all, or in all, coming out of all. He conceiving all as mind. He conceives and he delights about all. And you can all mean in the Buddha Sasana, in the Lord Buddha's definitions, all mean eye visuals, ear sounds, nose smells, tongue tastes, body tangibles, thoughts and mind. Those are the all. You're perceiving all as, perceives all as all. Perceiving all as all, you conceive a thing about all. In those ear noses, from those things, from this all, and thinking, oh, this ear nose tangibles are mine, and you delights about this all. Why is that? You have not comprehended it. The final one is now. Final one is that is the most hardest one to understand. That is, this ordinary uninstructed person, he perceives Nibbana as Nibbana, or he perceives enlightenment as enlightenment. Perceiving Nibbana as Nibbana, he conceives things about Nibbana. He conceives a Nibbana. He conceives an independent Nibbana. Nibbana as a thing. If he conceives a thing about Nibbana, then he can conceive in Nibbana, or coming out from Nibbana, or this Nibbana is mine, and he can delight in Nibbana. Why is that? He has not comprehended it. First of all, we should know what is called Nibbana. Nibbana means etang santang, etang panitang, yatidang sabba sankhara samato, sabbupatipati nisabgo, tanhakkayo, virago, nirodho nibbana. This is peaceful. This is excellent. namely the stilling of all preparations, the relinquishment of all assets, the destruction of craving, detachment, cessation, extinction, that called Nibbana. The stilling of all preparations of the mind, the relinquishment of all assets. Well, what are the assets? The body, sensations, perceptions, volitional activities, and cognitions. What arise in this movement? The relinquishment of all assets, the destruction of craving, detachment, cessation of the concept of existing, cessation of the concept of existing, cessation, and it's really can define as an extinguishing of an oil lamp. Nibbana, the people who are tangled in concepts or thoughts, they are conceiving a Nibbana in thoughts, in concepts, but merely Nibbana means the stilling of all concepts. Can you understand? The people who tangled in concepts or thoughts, they are conceiving Nibbana in thoughts or in concepts. But is Nibbana means the without thoughts, without concepts. There is no place. Just as the best definition is Nibbana means the stilling of all preparations. So that is the final one. If the ordinary person, he thinking Nibbana as Nibbana, in Nibbana, from Nibbana, then Nibbana is mine, and he is always delights about Nibbana, in Nibbana. It is also because why? He has not comprehended it. Okay, that is the way of that is the root sequence of the normal ordinary people. After that, Lord Buddha explains about the trainee who trains in this Dhamma. That means partner. He explains how it is just different than some difference is there about more than other things. I'll explain it now. Yopiso bhikkhave bhikkhu sekho appamattamanuso anuttarang yogakkemang patthayamano viharati. Sopi patavito abhijanati patavito abhinyaya pataving manyati pataving ma manyi pataviya ma manyi patavito ma manyi pataving meti ma manyi pataving ma abhinandi tankisa hetu parinyaya tasati vadami. What is the meaning? Now we talking about the Seka person. How's the Seka person thinking? A monk who is a trainee, yearning for the unexcelled relief from bondage, his aspirations as yet unfulfilled, directly knows solidity as solidity. That person perceives solidity as solidity, but now he knows from a direct knowledge, direct wisdom, he knows solidity as solidity. He understands solidity as solidity. Directly knowing solidity as solidity, let him not conceive things in solidity, a thing as solidity. That means he tried to not conceiving, try to stop the conceiving. Ma manyi mean manyati mean conceiving. Ma mean a definition used to tell don't conceive, like that way. He tried to, the Seka person, the trainee, try to stop the conceiving. He also when he look at something, he also now he have a small different view. He understands it directly. He knows it. He understands directly in a special wisdom. It is not like a thing, or it is what is arising and passing, not like that. He understands from the Yoniso Manasikara. That means he put his attention to the originating place, or as just a cognition. And he tried to not to conceive. He tried to not to conceive as a thing, that called Mamanyi. When he look at a fan, when he look at a TV, and when he look at a wall, or something, some solid thing, he tried to not to conceive. Let him not conceive, and let him not conceive in solidity. Let him not conceive coming out of solidity. Let him not conceive the solidity as mine. Let him not relax in solidity. It always try to let not to conceive as things. But he also can feel lust. He also can feel anger. But always he has a wisdom to let not to conceive. Try not to conceive. Then Lord Buddha is explaining why is that, so that he may comprehend it. He have a comprehension about this. In this way, he's explaining the solid liquidity, the temperature, the air as beings, gods, Pachapatis, Brahmas, Abhasara gods, Abhasara Brahmas, the Subhakina Brahmas, Vehapala Brahmas, the conquerors, and the Akasanyayatana, Vinyananchayatana, Nevasanyana, sorry, Akincha Sanyayatana, Nevasanyana Asanyayatana, and about seeings, herds, sensed and cognized, and singleness, multiplicity, and all. These all things Lord Buddha explained. When you see something, if you are a noble person or sacred person, you conceive, you directly understand seen as just a cognition, uh, and directly understand, and you try to not to conceive as a thing. When you have some, if you have no good attention, then you may be conceived. But again and again, he tried to be not to conceive, let not to conceive as a thing, heard as a thing. So again and again, he tried to do that, and heard also he tried to not to conceive as a thing. Sensed also same, cognitions also same, and the singleness and the multiplicity and the concept of all, or concept of eye, ear, visuals, sounds, nose, smells, tangibles, body, thought, mind, then tongue, tastes. Those all also he tried to not to conceive. Finally, he explains. He directly understands Nibbana as Nibbana. Now he knows what is the Nibbana, what is the stilling of preparations. He knows that. So he directly knowing Nibbana as Nibbana, let him not conceive thing about Nibbana. He will not conceive about Nibbana. He knows the Nibbana means just a stilling of all preparations of the mind. Then that's why I said Nibbana is not a thing what we have to try to gain in the future. We have our all if we practice Satipatthana meditations 100% according to the sutta, those all meditations focused into gain the Nibbana, gain the stilling of all preparations in this very moment. It's not a working for gain in the future. We have to gain the Nibbana in this very moment. The meditation should be for that, for gain the understanding in this very moment. So directly knowing the Nibbana as Nibbana, he try not to conceiving things about Nibbana. He has no he tried to let him not conceive in Nibbana, let him not conceive coming out of Nibbana, let him not conceive Nibbana as mind, let him not delights in Nibbana. Why is that? So that he may comprehend it. That is the Seka person's view. And finally, the Arahant and the Lord Buddha also explaining. I just tell one of, then it have the view of the Arahant and the Tathagata and the Lord Buddha. I'll explain it quickly and stop the sermon. A monk who is worthily one, a devoid of mental fermentations, who has attained completion, finished the task, laid down the burden, attained the true goal, destroyed the fetters of becoming, and is released through right knowledge, directly knows solidity as solidity. Directly knowing solidity as solidity, he does not conceive about solidity. He does not conceive in solidity. He does not conceive from coming out of solidity. He does not conceive solidity as mind. He does not delight in solidity. Why is that? Because he has comprehended it. The uh, the Seka person, first let him not conceive, but the Arahant does not conceive because he has comprehended it. But uh, the Seka person was so that he may comprehend it, but the Arahant because he has comprehended it. That is the difference. In likewise, he explains the liquidity, temperature, wind, beings, gods, and Prajapatis, all those things, and the all and the Nibbana also he has not conceived. He does not conceive. And again, Lord Buddha explained why is that. Another case is because with the ending of passion, he is devoid of passion. That's why Arahant not conceive like that. After that, Lord Buddha again preached because with the ending of aversion, he is devoid of aversion. That's why he does not conceive. Then finally, he explains he because with the ending of delusion, he is devoid of delusion. That's why he does not conceive like that. Finally, he explained the thinking style of Tathagata about the Lord Buddha. He also, the Tathagata, a worldly one, rightly self-awakened, directly knows earth as earth, directly knowing the solidity as solidity, directly knowing solidity as solidity, he does not conceive about solidity. He does not conceive in solidity. He does not conceive things coming out from solidity. He does not conceive solidity as mind. He does not delight in solidity. Why is that? Because the Tathagata has comprehended it to the end. Because the Tathagata has comprehended it to the end. In that way, Lord Buddha explained the all other parts. And finally, uh, he again explains because why he does not conceive. There's some explanation. Those are because he has known that delight is the root of suffering and stress. Why Tathagata does not conceive? Because he has known that delight is the root of the suffering and stress. Delight is the root. Please keep it in your mind. Why is Tathagata does not conceive like that? Because he has known that delight is the root of suffering and stress. that from coming into being there is birth, and that for what has come into being there is aging and death. Therefore, with the total ending, fading away, cessation, letting go, relinquishment of all craving, the Tathagata has totally awakened to the unexcelled right self-awakening, I tell you. In that way, Lord Buddha has explained the all other things also. Finally, that is what the Blessed One said. Displeased, the monks did not delight the Blessed One's words. In that way, the sutta finished. The monks didn't delight on the Blessed One's words, because why they couldn't understand this. Especially the last one. Last one mean about the conceiving about Nibbana. So, dear listeners, this sermon is finished for today. So, I bless you all. May you feel the fearfulness of samsara more and more, and do more effort to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this very life. Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Very well explained, Bante.
Did you understand the all things?
Can we spare some time for question and answer?
Sure.
कोणाचे काही प्रश्न असतील तर विचारू शकता. Bante, I will ask one question regarding this gods. Can you explain in some details?
About gods?
Yeah.
Okay. There is 6 heavens and 20 Brahma realms. Brahma realms mean the people who practiced higher concentration levels like jhana. They become in Brahma worlds. They are higher than the heavens. Heavens have sensual pleasures, but Brahma worlds just have the meditations, just higher concentration levels. Their food is the concentration. Their food is the happiness, not the sensual pleasures. But 6 heavens, like the humans' world, they depend on sensual pleasures. So there is the 6th, the best heaven is the place of the Mara. Mara means who is the controller of the sensual worlds. He's the one who try to make trouble to the people who try to get rid from this samsara. That is a position. The being is changing times to time. So in this time, the Mara's name is Vasavatti. He's now the best god. He's the most powerful person in sensual worlds. So after that, start the 20 Brahma worlds. They are meditating. First one is they have 3 by 3. The 4 first jhana, 3 Brahma worlds. One for lower practices, the second middle one for middle practices, the third one Mahabrahma, that called the higher practices of first jhana. Then the second Brahma world for second jhana, the above the third one, that means 4, 5, 6 Brahma worlds for second jhana. It also lower, middle, and super. And the third jhana also have another 3, that is 7, 8, 9. It also lower, middle, and best. and one called one is for the fourth jhana. Fourth jhana has only one. It is called Vehappala, and combined to it the Brahma world called Asanyatala. Asanyatala means people who practiced I have a soul, I want to vanish this soul. So he meditate for that. For according to their meditations, those people become in that Asanyatala Brahma world for 500 kappas, for 500 eons. They think it is the liberation, but Lord Buddha explained, discovered, it also not a solution, because if he meditate like that with the perception of, with the thought of I will vanish my soul, it is there's a ignorance, then he have to becoming again. So after that, the another Brahma worlds for non-returners, anagami persons, people. So those are the Brahma worlds. And conqueror mean in that ancient India have an idea of a creator of the world. That means the conqueror. And the other Arupa Jhana explanations are in this world also they conceiving when he meditate they conceiving jhana as jhana, uh, um, conceiving like that, and the brahmas also conceiving in that places. We are uh, uh, they also conceiving that position as a thing that we called that's what explained in that paragraphs. You got it?
Yeah. But these devas can liberate themselves, or they are depend on our metta.
They can depend on themselves. They have enough. They have enough merits to themselves, but for increase their lifetime, they need our merits, our merit sharings. Normally, our merit sharings taken by the lower gods, like gods in the trees and like that. But the higher gods also taking our merits when their merits going to be seized. So they correct the merits.
So all these gods protect Buddha Sasana.
No, just some gods give their word to the Lord Buddha, like the last three realms or four realms. Some gods like to Lord Buddha, some are not like.
Okay.
It depends. Yes, but in the heaven called Tavatinsa, that the king of that Tavatinsa heaven, he is well devoted to Lord Buddha. He is a Sotapanna person. We call Sakka.
Yeah.
You know.
Very well explained, Bhante.